Imagine you could work out without any fatigue, without any fallout of just the pain and suffering and tiredness you experience after a good long session. Just imagine. What would you do? What would that workout look like? Luckily, I have the rare opportunity to experience this, or as close as you can realistically get to it. And the reason behind that is that I got a new job that does not allow me to work out for 4 days at a time and then allows me to work out for 4 days at a time. So what I'm planning on doing is that 4-day split will consist of chest and back, arms and shoulders, legs, and chest and back. So at least some muscle groups get worked twice in that week, which is going to be absolutely lovely. Because the leg day and the chest and back day, I don't really have to worry about getting tired for them. And I don't have to worry about them affecting my future workouts because I have 4 days off. I can do whatever the hell I want. But let's look at the possible negatives and positives of this situation in like a theoretical way. So normally when you're doing an exercise or have a workout planned out, you're worried about the ratio of fatigue to stimulus. In this situation, because I have the 4 days off to rest, I don't have to worry about the ratio of it. I just have to worry about the net stimulus, which is great because that means like I can go to failure. Now I can go to failure again. It's gonna be great. Oh God, it's gonna be lovely. Oh. So that being said, let's look at what a day 4, a chest and back, max intensity, high volume day looks like. Let's examine this. This is gonna be good. We'll examine one set of each exercise I do. The exercises are gonna be flat dumbbell press, flat dumbbell fly, deficit push-ups and pull-ups. Not a large exercise selection, you'll notice, but that's because I run out of gas quick in the one separate workout, even though I don't have to worry about the following fatigue, the like in the moment fatigue. Like I just start melting. I'm like Olaf, but I don't have the magical cloud above me. Wait, no, I do. It's called depression and self-harm. Anyway, dumbbell press. So in this set, I get 8 reps, and I do my very best to make sure that even though for me, this is a heavy set because I'm pretty freaking weak. This is a heavy set for me, but I do my very best to control the negative and pause at the bottom. Because even though we're only worried about the net stimulus rather than the ratio of stimulus to fatigue, I don't want to get into the habit of just maximizing my fatigue as well. Because in general, if the muscle gets to a certain point of exhaustion or fatigue, you in a high intensity situation like weightlifting, you're going to grow muscle regardless about how you got there. There's better and worse ways, and there's, recommendations. But for the most part, there's no wrong answer. There's just more right answers. And I want to get into the habit of doing the right answers. So high intensity set. My beautiful brother is recording me, getting all the nice camera angles. It's great. Let's look at my flat dumbbell press. Not press, fly. Now, the reason that I did flat dumbbell fly rather than incline, because this is more for the upper pec than anything else, is purely for variation. It's an experiment. I'm not necessarily all for or all against it. It's just something I wanted to try, and it felt really good, so I did it for the full workout. Because we're only worried about the net stimulus, what I can do is I can do a lot of rest pauses and techniques that people would normally use just to save time. As an example, myo rep. You would do one hard set to failure or close to, and then you would rest 10 seconds and then do another like 5 reps, and then you would just do that 3 or 4 times, maybe more, and your workout would be done. That muscle group would be kaput, finished. I'm going to do that just for the hell of it, even though I'm going to be doing more sets. I do want to save some gas for the pull-ups that are going to come after, and so I only do one rest pause myo rep set after each of the flies, and I even chickened out of the last one. The last one was just a straight set to failure, but it was still failure, so it was pretty freaking fun. And I'm making sure to emphasize the stretch, pause at the bottom, and I really like the dumbbell fly because I'm going to sound like a broken record of all the science nerds, but the force curve means that because my arm is at a 90-degree angle to the floor at the bottom, the
Myra?
the difficulty of the movement is going to be at its maximum, at its peak. And my muscle is going to be at the most disadvantageous stretch position, which is the most beneficial for muscle growth, which is great. Because I don't really care about how strong I am, I just want to look like I can hurt people. Meanwhile, the only person that I really need to hurt is myself. So notice, even though I'm extremely tired during this rest pause set, I'm doing my very best to still have very good form. I'm a big form nerd. I love to increase my form in every single exercise but one, and that's the barbell bench press. That shit I do for stimulus, but mainly for the ego, man. I just love, that's the one exercise where I'll go out of my way to do a 1 rep max. I'm not a strength athlete. I don't care about my strength all that much, but like, good Lord, is that fun. All right, let's check out the deficit push-ups. These ones are just one set, one good hard set. And you do rest pauses according to how you feel. So, let's say you're having a particularly bad day. You can do that myo rep workout style with just like a ton of rest pauses. In this case, I think I only did 2 or 3. Still controlling the eccentric and doing a nice long pause at the bottom. And with these push-ups, I've been actually enjoying trying to be like almost explosive with them, just pushing with maximum force, even though I don't necessarily need to get my body up. I think it's just a good habit to get into, just so that way, you know, if I do ever need to push something, I can't just go like, but powerfully I can go, which is gonna be great. Beautiful, beautiful. So notice that the video is super washed out and garbage, and that's because I didn't adjust the lighting on my phone as I recorded. Big mistake on my end, horrible video, sorry. But normally you'd be able to see that I'm doing my best to retract my shoulder blades at the back half of the movement, so that way I can get that little bit of extra stretch on the pectorals. I would honestly really like to have an even bigger deficit, so that way there's no chance for my chest to even touch the floor, so that way none of the tension is relieved. And also, what's nice is because as my body gets close to the floor, the tension increases, and you know, the difficulty of the movement and the stretch of the muscle, they kind of coincide, and it's just perfect. It's beautiful. The final exercise, pull-ups. Let's see. So pull-ups have been steadily going down in numbers for me. That's because I've been steadily getting better with my technique and making it a more difficult movement for myself, with a acceptable range of motion and an acceptable negative tempo. And in doing so, I've noticed that my left shoulder is giving me not discomfort, but asymmetry on some of the descents. And you'll be able to see it kind of like pop asymmetrically to my right shoulder, which is not ideal, but it is what it is. 3 sets of pull-ups with 2 to 3 rest pauses after each set. And notice that because I'm just worried about the amount of stimulus that I get, I even do a little bit of a back pull despite me knowing I'm not going to get another rep. It's just fun and it works. Grip has become an issue for me because I've gotten fat. I've gained another like 10-20 pounds. My weak little womanly forearms, look at how freaking small my hands are, dude. Like, they can barely grab anything. And as such, they can't hold me very well. I need Versa grips or straps or chalk, but I'm not gonna get chalk because it'll make a mess. Versa grips and straps, I'm broke, man. I haven't looked at the price point, but I'm not going to, purely so I can save money. Holy shit. So I thought it was like 2 to 3 rest pauses, but it looks like I did like 4 or 5 with the drop set with the band. Holy shit. I'm a psycho. I didn't know. Oh, wow. Okay, so that's sick. So anywhere from 2 to like 6 rest pauses / drop sets / any intensity technique you freaking want, including partials. Because all this is conducive to one and one thing: stimulus and possibly fatigue. Normally, you wouldn't want to do rest pauses and techniques, intensity techniques on such a compound movement like pull-ups, because there's so many moving parts and so many things that are working hard to make it happen. And the fallout fatigue of it would be horrible, and it would just be difficult to execute the technique. But I don't have to worry about that. I could just freaking have fun. I can just push, and life's good. It's freaking glorious. Highly recommend it. It's not optimal to organize your split in a way where you cannot work out for 4 days because of either work or fatigue. In my case, it's both, one caused by the other. But it is fun to try. If fitness is getting stale, do it. You have a great day. Thank you for watching. Jiggly jiggly.